Okay guys, we're continuing on with our motor in this lesson. Let's take a look inside our terminal block. We can see that we have our cable entry point here, and here we have our earthing point. Now, we can see that we have 6 terminals. Why do we have 6 terminals, but we only have 3 phases with 3 wires? How are we going to connect this thing up? Okay, well, if we flip our lid around, we can see that it tells us how to connect up the motor. If we want to connect in star, we bring our 3 phases in and connect to one set of terminals and bridge out the opposite set of terminals. And we do this with the links provided with the motor. Let's take a look at how we do it. Okay, there we have our motor connected in star. Now, why is this star formation? Well, as we know, a star formation of windings looks like this. And in this 3-phase motor, I know that the 3 windings inside the motor are between here and here, U1 and U2, here and here, V1 and V2, and here, W1 and W2. These are the 3 windings inside the motor. They start here, go inside the motor, and come out on this side. Start here, go inside the motor, connect to the winding, come out at this side. Start here, go inside the motor, connect to the winding, and come out at this side. Now you'll notice that the windings are offset. In other words, they connect like this, this, and this. You'll see why when we talk about delta in a minute. But for now, let's just concentrate on star. Also guys, you'll notice my phases are the same color. Don't be too worried about that. That's just so we don't get too overloaded with color inside the motor for this example. Now, as we have connected our links across here like so, we can see that we have connected our end of our 3 windings exactly the same way as our star formation picture here. All 3 of our windings are connected at a central point. See that? And there you have it, star formation. If we look at our lid, this is exactly the same as what we've done here. And that's star, guys. Next, we're going to look at delta. Now, to connect the motor in delta, we come into the motor with our 3 phases and connect also to one set of 3 terminals. Then we connect our bars to link each terminal to the opposite terminal, as you can see here. Let's take a look. There we go. Now, as we know that the windings of our motor are offset, if we connect our link bars like so, this will give us delta formation, like this diagram here. If you follow it closely, you can see the relationship between the two. Feel free to draw it out for yourself if it helps you guys. So, if you follow closely, you can see the relationship between our terminal block here and our diagram. You can see that each link bar is the same as each corner of our delta triangle. If we start here at U1, we go through our U winding and come out at U2. Then we link to V1 and then we come out at V2. Then we go to W1 and then we come out at W2. Then back to U1 again, just like our delta triangle. Easy. Now, there's also another way we can connect the motor, which we will go into detail about later in the course, and that is a combination of star and delta connections. So let's just break that down. If this motor is rated for 240 volts in delta connection, we can first start the motor in star connection by giving it not 415 volts, but 240 volts 3-phase. What this does is it starts the motor by using less current on startup before we switch the motor over to delta connection. This means the motor is started in star, but it runs in delta. And how do we do that? We can't turn the motor on in star and then change the configuration of the links to delta while it's running. The way to get around this problem is we run our 3 phases into one set of terminals like this. Then we run 3 cables out from these terminals on the opposite side and back to our control board, where we can use electrical switchgear and timers to change the configuration. This is called a star-delta starter. This is essentially the same as changing the link bar configuration inside the terminal block from star to delta. But instead of using the bars, we're using wires and switchgear to complete the process. You will learn this skill later in the course. So by now we have a good basic understanding of the standard 3-phase motor. So let's move on and learn some more parts that we'll be using in the course. Cheers!